In this video, we are talking about some Remind insoles. These are the Destin Classic. They are the 3mm option. They are the thinnest insoles that Remind offers. They're also one of the insoles that they recommend for flat or low arches, and that's what I have, and so that's why I'm testing these out. I tested these ones out, and then I also tested the 5mm Destin insoles as well. And because in my snowboard boots I like a thicker insole just because my foot's a little bit smaller and I like to be lifted up a bit in the boot. I did use these, but it kind of like didn't put my ankle where I wanted it in my boot. I wanted to be a little taller. And so I use these mostly in my street shoes and specifically in my Converse. And that way I could kind of tell, since Converse don't have any support or anything in them, I could tell how much support was actually coming from the insole itself. So let's check these out a little bit. They come with this blue foam base that conforms to your foot as you use it. You can see it has like little ridges in the bottom here, and this one I've been wearing for about 3 months in my Converse, and they definitely broke down a bit faster than the 5mm that has that extra cushion on them. But for everyday use in your shoes and walking around town and just doing your everyday things, I felt like they offered a lot of support and comfort. I spend a lot of days on my feet. You know, when I'm not teaching snowboarding, I'm out hiking around, I'm walking, I'm pretty active, and so I'm on my feet a good 8 hours a day. And they definitely offered a lot more support than the average Converse standard would offer. What I do like about these and the shape of these insoles is that it gives me arch support without feeling extremely abrupt on the arch. Some low arch insoles kind of, it's like the arch support is like too high, or it's like kind of gnarly and doesn't compress as you walk. I like the way that these move with my foot as I walk. And I don't really even notice that the arch support is there, but I know that it's working because I have less foot fatigue at the end of the day. So these have the absorbing foam on the bottom, and then they come with an antimicrobial top to it, which is also moisture wicking. So it'll help with any sweat that you get throughout the day or any moisture that might happen to get in there. And it'll help prevent any bacteria getting into your insole and making it smelly. I don't usually have an issue with smelly feet, but you know, after you use an insole for a few months, it normally starts to have some sort of like foot odor of some sort. But these have stayed pretty fresh, honestly, and which is great. You could definitely use these in your snowboard boots as well. So if you want a lower profile and you just want like optimal space in the boot, then these would be a good option. They still give you impact benefits, and so you know, they'll still do their job, but just a little less cushy than the thicker insoles that Remind has. So there's still like, you can see, it still has some like good retention in the foam here. So like, I like that like it bends, but it doesn't come back right away. So pretty simple, you know, but they get the job done. They are $25 on the site. So these are kind of the cheapest insoles that Remind has. And then going up from there, you have the 5mm, which is like 35. And then they have the Medic and the Cush, which are around 45 and 55. If you're looking for kind of a lower profile insole that still offers support, if you have flat feet, but these you can also use for all arches, but it just does have a little bit more of an abrupt arch on it. For the people out there who have flat or low arches, they're comfy, they offer support without being too aggressively supportive in the arch area. And they definitely help to reduce foot fatigue and muscle fatigue throughout the day. So as far as sizing goes, these are the 7.5 size or the 5.5 men's size. When I've used unisex sizing insoles in the past, I almost always have to trim down the toe box. The toes just are normally longer or wider up here, and I'll have to trim them down to actually get them to fit inside my boot. But these ones fit almost perfectly. Like, I didn't need to trim them at all, and they didn't feel like they were jammed in there at all. I feel like the sizing is very accurate. I also like that they weren't extremely wide. They fit the width of my foot. My foot's pretty average. It's 7.5. Yeah, as far as sizing goes, I feel like these were spot on to a 7.5 foot. They fit right inside my snowboard boots. I use them with my Vans Luna snowboard boots, my K2 Cosmo snowboard boots, which are all 7.5, and my Converse shoes, which are also 7.5. So as I look at the Destin Classic insoles in 3mm from Remind, if you are looking for the complete write-up and review, you can head over to thegoodride.com to check it out.